All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. All right, this is another news and prophecy. The Maga spell is wearing off in the clash against the tiny tops, all right, which is the main part of this lesson that I want to get into. All right, bear with me 1 second. I want to check the feed, make sure we're good. All right, we good. All right, sound, audio's on point. So anyway, again, news and prophecy. The Maga spell is wearing off and clash against the tiny tops. And I just want to open up with this this article we got here on the screen. This is from time.com. It says, in the Epstein saga, signs of Trump losing his grip on the MAGA movement he birthed, right?
These women have fought. These women have fought the most horrific fight that no woman should have to fight. And they did it by banding together and never giving up. And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me.
I beg you, President Trump, please stop making this political. It is not about you, President Trump. You are our president. Please start acting like it. Show some class. Show some real leadership. Show that you actually care about the people other than yourself. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment.
I want everybody to take a look. I know everybody sees us today as grown adults, but we are fighting. This is who you're fighting for. This is who Congress is fighting for. This is who the House of Representatives are fighting for. And hopefully the Senate will fight for us too. And to the President of the United States of America, who is not here today, I want to send a clear message to you. While I do understand that your position has changed on the Epstein files, and I'm grateful that you have pledged to sign this bill, I can't help to be skeptical of what the agenda is. So with that being said, I want to relay this message to you. I am traumatized. I am not stupid.
Don't muck it up in the Senate. Don't get too cute. We're all paying attention. If you want to add some additional protections for these survivors, go for it. But if you do anything that prevents any disclosure, you are not for the people and you are not part of this effort.
There you go. So yeah, there's all eyes on this administration, man. All right, a lot of nasty work going out over the Epstein files. Right, just pulling this up real quick, and we'll get into the main part of this lesson in a second. But I just wanted to open up with this just to show you that this MAGA movement, okay, is falling. All right, here's from the AI Search Assist. It says support for the MAGA movement appears to be declining as President Trump faces challenges from within his base over various issues, including immigration, right, which we see right now. All right, you got ICE just fucking, causing havoc all over these major cities. All right, snatching people up, beating them up, right? it's crazy right now, right? So it says it says Trump faces challenges from within his base over various issues, including immigration and economic concerns. Experts suggest that this internal division could threaten his support among lawmakers and broaden in the broader Republican Party, right? All this the division is part of the plagues, man. All right. So it says current state of the MAGA movement, internal challenges. The MAGA movement associated with Donald Trump is experiencing significant internal strife, right? Key issues include leadership disconnect. Some supporters feel Trump is losing touch with the core values of the movement. This includes dissatisfaction with his recent policy decisions and handling of controversies, particularly regarding the Epstein files, right? And see, this stuff with the Epstein files just came out about a day or so ago. Now there's some shit coming out on how Trump had sexual relations with Bill Clinton, man. Right? It's a lot of nasty shit going on with up in that White House, man, and them politicians, man. Matter of fact, not to rant, but this shit is crazy. Let me pull this up real fast just to make my point. Because it's all coming out, man. Right? This is from Alex Jones 7 years ago. Let me see if I can play this real fast. Bear with me.
Video of President Trump sucking a ding dong. And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding dongs. But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Nasty work, man. Hey, did you see his face? Let me play it again. Shalaki, did you see the dude on the left? Look at his face when he says this, man.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding dong. And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding dongs.
Hey, you see his face? He's like, shit. Man, this is crazy, man. Babylon is cooked.
But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Bro, where are we at, man? Where the hell are we at? Right, real quick. Nasty, man. Oh my goodness. This is Habakkuk 2:16. Habakkuk 2:16 says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also and let thy foreskin be uncovered, right? See, all the dirt and filth that's going on, within this administration, within, the system of Babylon in general, all right? It's all being exposed. It's all being uncovered, right? Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand, Yahweh Shemel Washah's right hand, shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing should be on thy glory. So you got all of this stuff going on. All right, just going back to what we open up with, you got the trafficking of children that's going on, that really nobody's gave a definitive answer of the source and what's going on, the Epstein files, all right, on how these your politicians are fucking, fondling, little boys and girls, man. Just a lot of wild work going on in these last days, man, as the Lord is causing the exposure of this place to happen before he ultimately destroys it, man. All right, so that shameful spewing is definitely on this man's glory, man. And these videos, talking about Trump and Bill Clinton are all over Instagram. They're all over social media. All right, going into this subject, man. So it's over, right? Let me get one more before we get to the main point, right? Bear with me, right? Very wild time for Babylon right now, all right? Real quick, this is Nahum. Bear with me. Nahum 3, right? Nahum 3 and 4. We'll start there. Nahum 3 and 4 says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts, right? Because as we know through the spirit that America is spiritually Nineveh, all right? The mistress of witchcrafts, right? Verse 5, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemel of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And this is what the Lord is doing, man. He's lifting up the skirts of this whore of Babylon, man, of this administration, man. Okay, because both administrations were nasty as hell, Biden and now Trump. All right, they're all under that same banner, man. Okay, both sides, the left and the right, man. It's just a bunch of crazy work that's going on, man. The PDF files, the trafficking, these scandals that are popping up, the corruption that's going on. Okay, the whole world is seeing it. And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Hey, America is in great shame right now, man. Okay, America is like the laughing stock of the planet. Verse 6, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee. See, this is all tied into that. Okay, it says, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and set thee as a gazing stock, right? That word gazing stock goes back to a horrible example. Okay, and that's what the Lord is making out of Babylon right now, man. A horrible example, right? Maga is falling. People are waking up. And this is what we're going to get into real quick. Let me see if I can pull this up before I play the video. All right. Donald Trump is losing control of Maga. It says his surrender on the Epstein files and his attack on Marjorie Taylor Greene proves it, right? So these Edomites are all over the fucking place, man. We're not going to read this article, right? But let's get into the main focus of this lesson right here, man. All right. And before we play the video, fair use, man. Okay. This video is a fair use, man. This is used for edification purposes, just in case they try to give me a strike. But we're gonna play it anyway. So anyway, fair use, fair use. Let's get into it. All right. Bear with me. Hopefully they'll play. There we go.
Most evil shit imaginable. You're covering up a child sex.
Hold on. Bear with me. We're gonna get it. Let me let this computer stop tripping. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure we play it smoothly through. All right. 1 second. All right, let's see. Should go down.
The most evil shit imaginable. You're covering up a child sex trafficking ring because you're implicated in it. And the consequence of this is you have to give Israel missiles to murder children by the millions and drag your own country into another war, the very kind of war that you ran to stop. It's like, what is this, Bill Clinton and George Bush put together? I mean, we elected Trump as a repudiation of the legacy of all these presidents. He's all of them rolled into one. He's a warmonger like Bush. He's a sex criminal like Bill Clinton. He's demented like Joe Biden. As long as MAGA puts America last, to hell with Trump. I don't want him. If Trump is with Randy Fine and Lindsey Graham and Ben Shapiro and fucking Psycho Loomer and Mark Levin, you can have him. If that's what MAGA is, you can keep it. We want America first.
There you go. So this is the point. So when I saw these two videos, and then we're going to play the other one after this, you got to consider what's being said right here, man. This is all contributed again to the fall of this so-called MAGA movement. All right. A lot of these, matter of fact, let me get the scripture and I'll make my point, right? This is Isaiah 25:7. It says, and I will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all the nations, right? So, you know, your so-called, you know, right-wing America First prototype Edomite, okay, they know that Babylon, America, is controlled by the tiny tops. All right, all of your governors, your politicians, your presidents, they're all controlled by what you call it, the APAC. All right, so now my point of reading the scripture is that that veil is being removed. All right, so now these, you know, these America First right wingers, they see that, you know, that pretty much Trump himself in this cabinet, they're sellouts, man. They're controlled by the tiny tops, which is going to cause the ultimate clash. That's what's going on here, man. That's the division that's settling in, right? Luke 12:51. It says, suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth, I tell you, nay, but rather division. Okay? And these Edomites are divided hardcore, man. Okay, we just saw the video played at the beginning with the woman Majorie, what's her name? Majorie Green, whatever her name was. All right, the Epstein files, the immigration, just everything is tearing America apart, which has Babylon completely polarized, man. Okay, it says back in Luke 12:51 again, suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth, I tell you, nay, but rather division. Verse 52. For from henceforth there should be five in one household, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. Verse 53. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the mother. And the son against the father, and the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So this is total division that's plaguing Babylon as we speak. All right. Now, again, going back to this video, consider what he said, right? Now check what this what the small hat says after this, right? I'll play it back through again, all the way through, right?
The most evil shit imaginable. You're covering up a child sex trafficking ring because you're implicated in it. And the consequence of this is you have to give Israel missiles to murder children by the millions and drag your own country into another war, the very kind of war that you ran to stop. It's like, what is this, Bill Clinton and George Bush put together? I mean, we elected Trump as a repudiation of the legacy of all these presidents. He's all of them rolled into one. He's a warmonger like Bush. He's a sex criminal like Bill Clinton. He's demented like Joe Biden. As long as MAGA puts America last, to hell with Trump. I don't want him. If Trump is with Randy Fine and Lindsey Graham and Ben Shapiro and fucking Psycho Loomer and Mark Levin, you can have him. If that's what MAGA is, you can keep it. We want America first. We want America first. We want Tucker. We want Candace. We want Fuentes. We want Brett Cooper. We want Marjorie Green, Thomas Massey. We want America first. That's the new movement. Good luck in the midterms. Good luck with your majority, because we're out. You put America last. You want us to vote for a Republican Congress for what? So you can give our money to Israel? Fuck off. We won't be there in 26, and we'll be there in 28, but you're not going to like it. We are coming for you in Iowa. We are coming for you in New Hampshire. That's what they don't want to see. We are in the universities. We are in the think tanks. We are in the congressional offices. We are in your fucking walls.
Yeah, so these are the talking points that I always make reference about. These have been the talking points lately from a lot of these, you know, hardcore right-wing so-called Edomites, man. All right, now they've come to that realization that you know, America has been sold out. All right, that the politicians, the president, whosoever, governors, mayors, or whatever, all right, they don't have the interest of America first. They're all about serving the tiny hats. So that's the clash that's coming. So like I said, consider what he just said. Now check this out.
You've issued a stark warning to American Jews. I want to make a warning to somebody else, and that's American Gentiles. The minute your country is taken over by anti-Semitism, the minute you start to be a country that's not blessing Israel but cursing Israel, you have begun the process of shrinking away from your empire. That has happened. I don't think that that's theological. That's biological. That's the way the world operates. Every empire that turned on the Jewish people shrank back to its smallness. If it's the Germans and it's the Austrians, if it's the Dutch and the Spanish, and it's certainly a much more recent history, if it's the British, who had a giant empire, gigantic, ginormous empire. But when they turned on the Jews, within just a few years, they became the little island that they are today. Okay?
I've always wanted to do a PhD thesis tracking throughout history the meccas of Jewish diaspora and then the precipitous downfall immediately following them turning against
the Jews are a channel for blessing in your nation. Okay, if Fuentes is coming out saying, "Get the blank out of here," I hear it. And we have a place, Baruch Hashem, thank God we have our homeland back. Hashem has made great miracles. But for you, Fuentes, do you really think that what you're offering is a great offer for America? Do you think that when you cleanse America from Jews, America is going to be a blessed country? Biologically, historically speaking, it will not. It will shrink. And I see it. The American shrinkage has begun. And so that's for you, America. Like you're throwing out, you're vomiting out, you're listening to this guy, you're vomiting out your Jews. It's been done before, and all those places. Look at these great cities. Yemen used to be a great, a cultural mecca for Jews. It became what it is today, a crappy little country. And look at Lithuania and all these places. They were once important because the Jews were there. They brought God's channel. They channeled godliness into this world. They brought smartness and innovation and political innovation and cultural innovation. You kick them out and you go to Vienna today. I've been to Vienna. Very, very nice city. A shadow, a memory of great times past. Okay, a nice place. They keep it nicely, but it doesn't have the power. The Jews bring the power. You want to kick the Jews out of New York? You got Mamdani. He's going to kick the Jews out of New York. He's going to arrest the Netanyahu. He's going to globalize the jihad. Gesundheit hate, as we say. Good luck. Let's see what happens to your great New York City without us. And I think that there's another aspect of that, which is who will stand with Israel. The nations are to be judged. We know, and Fuentes says truthfully, we will survive. When we're kicked out of America and America, the whole thing is done. The whole American Jewish project is done. We're going to be fine. Within a span of a few hundred years, we went from the Babylonian to the Persian to the Greek and the Roman Empire. We're still here. As Rabbi Berelwein says, that if the people in the past would see who is selling tickets to whose roof.
Yeah. So hey, this is heavy. So like I said, consider both videos what was said. All right. And this is showing you that these tiny hats, right? The rhetoric, the talking points, like you see here on the screen, right? Israeli rabbi sends a warning to Americans after right-wing cuts ties with Israel. Quote, America will fall for abandoning the throughs. So he's saying, look, all right, you want to run with this rhetoric, this talking point. They pretty much about to tear this shit down. This is how you know shit's about to happen. Okay, because this is the clash that we see right now. Now, your so-called right-wingers are waking up. Egyptian versus Egyptian, man. Okay, they see who really has the control of America. That's how you know. And he's like, he's talking shit like, all right, you want to do this? Look what's going to happen. So this is how you know something major is going to happen due to this internal division that's going on with Maga, the right wing, the tiny hats. Okay, because there's been a plethora of videos, of people on these podcasts speaking out against the influence of the small hat. So that's why I wanted to show these videos to show you, look, hey, it's about to go down. Okay, just know that hey, these niggas got some shit up their sleeve, man. Okay, they're gonna make this, you so-called right wing Edomites pay. If you will, right? That's what I was thinking about, man. So you gotta consider what was said, right? Isaiah, real quick, Isaiah 19:1, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Washai rideth upon the swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, right? And there's so much stuff going on in the heavens. I did a lesson yesterday going into what the what's it called, the disclosure, the age of disclosure. All right, all these declassified documents and videos coming out about the chariots with the world even calls UFOs, and pretty much how these world governments are preparing for the return of the Lord. You know, so we live in indeed some very heavy times, bro. Verse 2, the point. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right? This is what we're seeing with this whole right wing against the tiny tops and calling them out. You know, and like he said, let's read it one more time, right? America will fall for abandoning the throughs. There you go. So anything can happen. All right. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. You heard what the guy Nick, what's his name? Nick Fuentes. You heard what he said. Okay. They're tired of this administration. They're tired of Trump. The MAGA base is falling apart. Okay. These pro-American Edomites want America first. All right, not the tiny hats. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom, right? This is part of the plagues, man. That division, that internal turmoil that's going on, right? Now, I got this pulled up in the chat. All right, just want to go through it. Okay, the context, Isaiah 19. Author Isaiah, audience Judah, but prophecy concerns Egypt. Time frame 8th century BC, days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah. It says Isaiah 19 is a prophetic burden against Egypt, all right, because America is spiritual Egypt, all right. This is dealing with Babylon, America. It says a prophetic burden against Egypt, foretelling divine judgment. This chapter outlines internal collapse, social division, economic disaster, political confusion, and spiritual humiliation within Egypt. All these things are happening right now. Okay? It connects with other prophecies describing how Yahweh judges nations not only by foreign invasion, but also by turning them against themselves. See? So this is what we saw in these two video clips. Okay, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is turning these Edomites against each other. Because remember, these tiny hats, they're Edomites too. Don't get it twisted, man. They try to tell you that they're not, so-called white people. These are Edomites, man. Okay, Esau versus Esau, man. All right, it says Isaiah 19:2, which we just read. Breakdown in meaning, right? It says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. It says the Most High is the active cause, not merely permitting, but orchestrating the internal conflict as judgment. See? All of this mess that's going on in America, man. The scandals, the corruption, okay, the exposure, the internal division, everything, man. It's all being orchestrated by the Lord. It says he doesn't have to send a foreign army first. He can collapse a nation from within. See? Right? That's the, what it say, Isaiah 14. Let me go there real quick. We talked about the corrosion. Right? Let me just get that real fast. Just thinking out loud. Isaiah 14. And bear with me. Yep. Isaiah 14:9. And it reads, it says, hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. All right. That hell represents destruction, man. Okay. Babylon fallen. It stirreth up the dead for thee. The dead are the other nations. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. This is why we're in a time of nuclear war, World War III. Okay, the Lord is stirring up the kings of the nations to stand up against the West, the Western hegemony. Verse 10, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? The point. Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. In the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee, right? Going into the corrosion and decay of this place, man. Okay? I just want to hit that word real quick for worm. The worm is spread under thee, right? It says maggot, worm as cause as cause and sign of decay. All right. Everything about Babylon, America, is decaying, is collapsing, is falling apart. Okay. It says cause and sign of decay, all indicate corruption. Okay. That's what's going on in America, man. Nothing but corruption. All right. And this is why this is all going to lead to the fall. Right. Let's go back to the read. So it says he can collapse a nation from within. This echoes Psalms 33, 10 and 11. The Most High frustrates nations' plans. Amos 3 and 6. Amos 3 and 6. Calamity doesn't occur without the Lord's involvement. Right? They shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. A picture of civil war, social unrest, and breakdown of unity. Right? As we saw in the videos. Okay? That dude, Nick, what's his name? Nick Fuentes, he's like, the hell with Maga. All right. If it's for the interest of the tiny tops, we don't want to have shit to do with it. Okay. That's all. Hey, this was playing out. Civil war, social unrest, and breakdown of unity, family and community ties shatter. See that? The movement is collapsing, right? It says, similar to 2 Chronicles 20 and 22, 20 verses 22 to 23, enemies destroy each other. Judges 7 and 22, the Most High causes confusion, so people kill each other. Number 3, city against city and kingdom against kingdom indicates nationwide fragmentation, regional, tribal, political, and possibly ideological factions, right? Comparable prophetic language, Matthew 24 and 7. Use eschatologically, nation shall rise against nation, Isaiah 3, 1 through 5, societal breakdown, youth uprising. This may also refer to Egypt's ancient history of internal dynasty conflicts where multiple rulers claimed authority simultaneously, leading to political chaos and division. Last point. Overall prophetic message, Isaiah 19 and 2 shows God judging Egypt not first with an outside invasion, but by an internal decay. See? Civil war, leadership confusion, economic collapse, failed spiritual systems. Okay? This follows a biblical pattern. When God judges a nation, he removes its unity. There you go. All right, so this thing is going down fast, man. All right, and it's no telling what these small hats are about to do once they lose that base, if you will, from these right-wing, Edomites. You see what I'm saying? It's all leading to the destruction of this place, man. Right? Let's grab this too. This is Mark 3 and 23 NLT, Yahushua called them over and responded with the illustration. How can Satan cast out Satan? He asked. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. All right? A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. Okay? These Edomites can't get it right. They're confused. They're all over the place, man. All right. They're ready to start tearing shit up. Okay. You see what's going on? Look at America right now, man. This is the worst America's ever been, man. And it's only going to continue to get worse. And if Satan is divided and fights against himself, how can he stand? He will never survive. There you go. Right? You know, because hey, the scriptures talk about you know, you would be greatly despised going into these tiny tops, man. Okay, the whole world is preparing to stand up and come against these damn devils, man. Right? Job 18. Right? Let's start up at the top. We'll read down to the point. All right, let's start at Job 18 and 5, and we'll read on down. Right, but this is Job 18, Job chapter 18 and verse 5, and it reads, it says, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out. All right, because they regard themselves, Esau regards himself as the so-called Illuminati, the so-called, you know, bearers light. Right, but the Most High, Yahweh Shemir Rashai, is getting ready to put his lights out. All right, his so-called wisdom or whatnot, you know, is getting ready to be put out. And the spark of his fire should not shine. It says, verse 6, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle should be put out with him. See that? So everything, his power, his hegemony, his technology, all of that's going to fall. Okay? His so-called left-hand wisdom. Verse 7, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. This is what we're seeing right now. This is the Maga falling apart. His own people no longer believe in him. All right, you know, it's everything is dwindling. You know, his power is failing. Right, verse 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet. See, and he walketh upon a snare, a trap. Okay, verse 9. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. Yahweh Shemir Rashai. Right? The snare is laid for him. It says the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Right? The snare is ultimately, you know, his the fall of his economy. All right, his military going down. All right, his technology not being able to deliver him from the coming destruction. You know. It says, terror shall make him afraid on every side and drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. See? And I got an article I want to tie into this a little bit later, but we'll get to it in a second. It says, it shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, right? His confidence is being rooted out. Okay, people don't have the faith in the system no more, man. They don't trust the government or whatnot, man. These politicians and shit. Okay, all of that is being rooted out. It says, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle and shall bring him to the king of terrors, Yahweh Shemir Rashai. Verse 15, it shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation, right? That's going to be that nuclear destruction, man. Okay, his root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. It says, because there's not going to be anything left of Esau, Edom. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street. See that? And that's going to be the end of the Edomite, man. His so-called legacy. Verse 18, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. So making my point, you know, going back to this tiny top that was talking big shit. All right. Right now, we're in a time where, again, the world is standing up against these people, man. They're being called out on a global scale. All right. So we're in a time where these devils being chased out of the world. Okay. They're being revealed and exposed, man, of not being the people of the book. All right. Frauds. It says, verse 19, he should neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not Yahweh Shemir Rashai. So his end is being declared before him. Okay, he's getting ready to fall horribly, man. Job 20 and 27, it says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against them. That's what's going on right now. Okay, the wars, the government standing up, militaries, the people preparing for invasions. Okay, this situation that's going on in Palestine and Gaza is getting ready to spill over to nuclear war. You know, the situation in Venezuela. All right, this man is just all over the earth causing terror and destruction. But now these nations are standing up. And the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Yeah, the nuclear destruction. Verse 29, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage of him appointed unto him by the Most High. All right. So let me get this too. As I was talking about the this article that I got pulled up as well, just to add in there, you know, all tying to the destruction here. All right. So this came out from The Economist. It says the world ahead 2026, right? Let's go to the top here. So this is from America's First Report. It says, super creepy, the world ahead 2026 magazine cover shows globalists expect war, pestilence, and financial collapse next year. See that? We told y'all, man. See, they're showing you, like the elder Karatas said, hey, they're showing you, but we're telling you, right? Globalists expect war, pestilence, and financial collapse next year. All right. And look at the pictures, you know, because they always put those subliminals in the pictures, right? But it says if you want to know what the global elite are thinking, this is the publication that you need to be reading, right? As you see here, right? 250, the America's 250th so-called birthday is this year coming up, right? You see the tanks representing war, right? You got the jabs, right? Right? Financial collapses it was talking about, right? It says when you look at the cover, what stands out to you? To me, the fact that there's so many symbols relating to war really got my attention. There's a huge red tank on one side of the cover and another huge red tank on the other side of the cover, right? So there's a lot of signs that they're letting you know is getting ready to happen as we enter into this next year. It says at the top, there are several large missiles that look like they are ready to be launched. And at the bottom, there are more large missiles. Also, right in the middle, we see two enormous swords that are crossed. That is clearly meant to symbolize war. Obviously, they believe that war will continue to be the major theme in 2026. And that is something that I have been consistently warning about. How much more the prophets? And they also seem to think that certain individuals will continue to be major players in world affairs during the coming year. And the rest reads on. We're not going to read through it. All right. But again, this magazine cover was enough. All right. These elites are letting you know what's in store. Right? Jeremiah. All right. Shit's about to get even more crazy, man. Jeremiah 28:8. And it reads, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence, man. Okay, so like I said before, hey, the warnings have gone out, man. The trumpet is being blown. Okay, this shit is about to go down in a horrible manner, man. You see that? Again, the in-house fighting, the internal division. The Maga spell is being is wearing off. Okay, so it's getting ready to go down, man. You know, so I thought the video was pretty heavy. You know, Lord willing, this you know, this lesson, this live lesson was edifying, man. You know, just the time we in, man. It's about to happen, right? I'm trying to see if I got anything else I want to post before we end the this feed here, man. You know, prayer wasn't all over the place, right? But Nevertheless, this lesson was edifying, right? This is 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right. So again, all you niggas out there on the internet using AI to scoff and mock the prophets, you Christians, you niggas that claim to be Israelites, that's talking shit, and we're not worried about the incredulity at the end of the day. All right, because verse 4 says this: for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Right. So hey, if you don't believe, that's on you. If you can't see it, that's on you, man. Okay, the warnings have gone out, man. We're deadly close to the end of Babylon the Great, man. And that's it. Verse 5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So now it's time. Now the Lord is about to bring the what do you say? The sword, the famine, death, and destruction. All right, everything that we were seeing in this the world ahead of 2026. Okay, so read between the lines. Hey, our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. It's about to go down. All right, but this clash is about to be epic. All right, so let's sit back and watch what happens. You know, so that's pretty much it, man. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rekakwadash, and Shalom to the next one. Shalom.